So, sitting in the same room, same chair, same country, same planet, wearing the same old sweater, decided to do a video about Jak 2 because Keith did one himself. And what better day to do it than a rainy day in October? Come on, focus. Yeah. So, my history is a little bit unusual for. I don't know, maybe it is quite usual. Um, it was long ago, maybe 4,000 years ago. I was living in Russia, and I was at the age of 15. I just got into gaming. I didn't grow up with games. I waited for a long time. Seems like a pattern with me. I do everything very late. Not that I complain about it. Um, I didn't have internet. I would generally know about gaming by watching TV shows that had segments. I would watch X-Play, I would watch things that are like that. I would watch gaming commercials if possible. I would, of course, look at people playing whenever I come visit someone. I may or not get to play on their console, but uh, anyway, at the age of 15, I got my PS2. I just got into gaming. Played a few games, including Ratchet 3, as a matter of fact. And on TV, I saw a commercial for a game that I think was Age of Arcadia or Skies of Arcadia. So I watched a couple of commercials that are um, similar to that, and in my mind, I got the idea that there's this cool game where you play as uh, elf people who fly on ships and do pirating. How ironic. But anyway, the main idea of the protagonists flying on ships and being pirates is, of course, Skies of Arcadia. I think it was the review of the GameCube remake, but whatever. Um, I went into the store, I saw Jak 2, and I was like, ooh, that's like that game I saw on TV where long-eared people go on ships and go on adventures and battle pirates and search for treasure themselves. Eco pirates. So I inserted the disc in my PS2, and what the hell is this? Okay, it's kind of like an old like fantasy setting with borderline primitive technology and some advanced one, and the characters look cool, and I guess they will go on their ship and they will go on adventures, right? And then they go through a portal, and then uh, I realized, oh wait, yeah, it is a sequel. I don't quite understand what's happening, but anyway, I played Jak 2 first, thinking I would be getting Skies of Arcadia with elf people. Instead, I've got Jak 2. So, getting into Jak 2 first instead of 1 had an effect, which is I first got a taste of a world with deeper characters, and I get a taste of Jak having a decent amount of personality. So, Jak and Dexter actually feel like friends. I mean, they may bicker, but they love each other, they respect each other, and they both have personalities. Dexter is the fiery but ultimately cowardly guy who can do things under pressure. He can be helpful, but usually he is cowardly, but he speaks a lot. And Jak is the quiet man who does a lot, but instead of Jak 1, he does have more of a persona. I hate using the word personality so many times. It just he has a character. So he's a quiet dude who just wants to be left alone, and he generally is chill, but don't get him angry. And of course, in Jak 2, he starts angry and then he mellows down. He has like his character arc where he goes from a shy guy who doesn't speak to an angry guy who just wants to, you know, uh, beat up people who are named Praxis as revenge, and then eventually he after he gets all the anger out of his system, he kind of quiets down and becomes more mature, I guess, more chill. Yeah, so people keep thinking of the opening of the game, and he wanted to kill Praxis, but they keep forgetting that it's like they played the game 10 years ago. They forget everything about it except the first 10 minutes. They keep forgetting that Jack mellows down, Jack gets more balanced, Jack chills, and yeah, he becomes this serious, quiet man who just wants to relax and do his own thing, but who will get fired up when provoked, and he will absolutely show people not to mess with him. Quite on the outside, potentially fiery on the inside, and Dexter is the opposite. Anyway, so the one thing that Jak 2 taught me is to be a better gamer, because it is a game for people who think ahead, who think carefully, who don't necessarily just rush into things thinking they can just circle strafe around the enemies. Something that kind of makes some games very easy, if you can just strafe forever and no enemy can ever hit you. Yeah, in Jak you got to hide behind geometry, you got to use cover, you got to think before you go into an area, unlike Ratchet. So another thing I remember is Jak 2 was the first game, and I haven't played too many games where I actually got stuck for a moment. The two missions were the protect the underground from some Hellcat cruisers, and protecting the Three Stooges in the sewers. Those missions kicked my ass because I wasn't very good at gaming. And normally I would give up and just not play anymore for like a year or two, or maybe never return to the game at all. But I cared so much for the world, the characters, and the story. I wanted to know what happens next, and that is what motivated me to actually get better and struggle and persevere. So, Mr. Daniel Airy, the lead writer for most of the Jak games, good job, my man. I loved your stuff then. I still love it now. I do understand that the Jak games are generally they're not super deep. They are more pulp, which is plot based. It's about adventure. It's about how do we defeat the villain, or how do we find the MacGuffin. It's about going forward, and we got to do it. It's less about the themes. It's more about the fun and the adventure, and nothing wrong with that. You can write some great pulp. Let's just say that. And of course, the characters are fascinating. Really well written, and hand animated. Almost no, or maybe not at all motion capture in the Jak games. I don't like motion capture. It's just cheating. It's not artists making art. It's just awkwardly moving human performance in suits, having their motion tracked, and feels very off the way they move in those motion capture suits. Especially if they're like average motion capture people, they don't move with a lot of energy and a lot of dedication. The movement is off. It's like they're being very careful, overly careful, and the movements are kind of unnatural. There's a lot of unnecessary body language to just a lot of swaying back and forth. Yeah, hand animated cutscenes in Jak 2, 3, 1, they're they will always be great. The animation is timeless. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Polygons, you can argue like how many polygons do you need to make the game look good, but animation is always timeless. Animation is timeless. Voice acting is timeless. Art direction is timeless. Story writing is timeless. So yeah, Jak 2 was my first introduction to Jak and Daxter. I went to 1 after that and went to 3. So it's 2, 1, 3 for me. The final game I actually got to play was Jak X. Waited so long for that one. Was it a bad thing that I waited so long? Was it a good thing? I think it was just a thing. It doesn't matter. Also a great game. Also, hand animation, great fucking cutscenes. Oh my god, I said fuck. Children cannot watch this anymore. Uh, so, Jak 2 played at the age of like 15 and a half, 16. Um, Never played Jak 1. Great writing, fun characters, amazing dialogue, amazing art direction, mostly great gameplay. It could have used like a month of playtesting and polishing, but otherwise, great gameplay. Like 2 or 3 cheap moments, but whatever. You can get good at this game just like Dark Souls. Jak 2, some people complain it ruined their perfect world of Jak 1. Well, guess what? It gave Jak a personality. It made characters more interesting. It made the story something you can care for. It made the world more interesting. Jak 1 had a lot of promise, and Jak 2 actually delivered. And about it being a GTA clone, where, well, any game that adopted the hub format as a GTA clone is Sly 2 GTA clone. And people complain that there's nothing to do in Heaven City. What are you talking about? A third of the missions happen in Heaven City. There's a lot to do. Um, Also, Sony, Naughty Dog, whoever's in charge. Lost Frontier remake with a story rewrite. When? And Daniel Arey better be in charge this time.